There's no doubt that the Mime Troupe was and remains a left-wing theater, something I'm proud of. As crazy and as revolutionary and sometimes over the top as the Mime Troupe may have been, we were all deadly serious about calling in the markers on the nation's promises. We had a Bill of Rights and a Constitution that was not being fully adhered to and lived up to, and by God, we were gonna call those markers in. I think it's really useful to remember that everything stands on the shoulders of something. Nothing comes, without a birth, without a genesis. So the Mime Troupe is part of a long history. I mean, you can go back to the founding of America itself, and you can go through Emerson and Thoreau and Whitman and Hart Crane and what Gary Snyder calls the Great Underground. And the Great Underground has always been kind of parallel to civilization, and it's the great river of artisans and artists that have spoken for the earth and other species. And sometimes it rises above ground, and sometimes, like in the 1950s, it disappears for a while. But it's far more ancient than anything we call civilization. So that's the great tradition in which the Mime Troupe existed, sprang from, and continues to exist today. And, it may look sometimes like we're losing ground, and in the short term, we are. Because what I think has changed between that time and now is a sense of hopefulness and a sense of empowerment. That when my generation came into power, we honestly believed that we were going to change everything. And I would say that, to be fair, we failed on all our political agendas, but we won on all our cultural agendas, and people overlook that. Because the kind of organizing principle of the theater was ideas, there were approximately 9 jillion hours per production dedicated to hair-splitting study and conversation and argument about each subject. And really, although it could be tedious sometimes, it was to the good, because we knew what we were talking about. And we were not just getting laughs just for the sake of laughs. We were going after edifying and instructing the audience. The beauty of comedy is that you always know when you've scored a point. If I make you laugh, it's a guarantee that I've made you see the world from my point of view. If I do it as a tragedy, I don't know. I can't tell if you cry or not. You could be just sniffling and I can't hear you. Theater and art was, most people will not throw themselves on the barricades to die as the lumpen proletariat. That's not a very inspiring vision. But revolution, fresh air, and fun, that sounded like a recipe for a great life for a young man. And to travel around the United States, actually as a member of a guerrilla theater group, actually creating revolution or contributing to what we thought would be revolution, and being a hero to hundreds of winsome co-eds, there couldn't have been a better life, because we were actually doing it. And with all our internal contradictions and with all the struggles, we were doing it.